right, this is Marcel of Marcel on Tech, and today we are talking about what is my favorite phone. I have to say, I've been a massive fan since I bought this phone, and there are videos about this that I've done already. Actually, one of my most viewed videos is about this amazing phone, which is the Samsung Galaxy Note 10. And I just had to try and see whether there was a difference in the Samsung Galaxy Note 10 Plus. Okay, this is exactly the same model, but the Plus version. But the difference is as well is that I've also got the apparently more powerful CPU in the Snapdragon 855. Let's talk about the differences. Okay, so let's talk about these two phones. Now, both of them are very, very similar in design and shape. Obviously, one is slightly larger than the other. Here I've got the cool blue color, which is very, very cool. And here I have the Aurora color, they call it, which I absolutely love with the shimmering multicolor action happening there. This is 6.3, this is 6.7 with the screens. Now, the simple reality of it is these are 3-year-old phones. And yet, with all the phones that I've been testing from Xiaomi to Google, this device still competes with those ones, and I'll tell you why. The panels on both of these are amazing. Probably the only thing that is a weakness on both these devices is the hertz. They're both 60 hertz. If they were 90 hertz, they would still be incredibly competitive with 2022 and maybe even 2023 devices. They're both 60 hertz, but because they're Samsung and because they have Samsung panels, they are just fantastic in terms of their quality. I love the Fluid app, which a lot of you who are following my videos will know. Now, just a quick note as well, 99% of my viewers are non-subscribers, so please do subscribe and ding the notification bell because it makes a huge difference to my growing channel. This is very much an infant channel, but it's growing really, really well. We're very, very close to 200 subscribers, so I'd love to jump over the edge very, very soon and bringing more tech and conversations as well. So these devices really are incredibly competitive in 2022, going into 23 as well. And I've been testing out the flagship devices from other Android OEMs, such as Google, of course, and I've been using the Google 7 Pro, and only just sent it back actually last week. And to be honest, this still competes in every aspect except the camera. The cameras on this device are very good. They're a B+. They were an A+, but now they're a B+ because devices like Xiaomi and Google have just taken it to a whole nother level. Even Samsung, the S22 Ultra, which I also tested earlier in the year, is absolutely excellent. And obviously, they've evolved from these devices. But what I love is how tidy these are. Look at those camera bumps. They're not ridiculous. They don't stick out massively. They're not really offensive. Even when you put them down, it lays flat. It's not wobbling all over the place. So these devices, the way that they're designed, even with the waterfall screens that go over the side there, I absolutely love the Edge technology with the palm rejection and so on, is just absolutely brilliant. Now, in terms of software, these devices have got One UI 4.1. They won't be getting One UI 5, which is a shame, but they will be getting security updates for the next 2 years. So they've been guaranteed security updates for another 2 years because they've already been out 3 years already. But in terms of functionality, brilliant. I haven't got a problem. I haven't had a slowdown or anything like that. Now, one of the things I did want to talk about was the difference potentially between the CPU on this one, which is the Exynos CPU, which is the Samsung's own, and this has the 855, which I managed to get hold of. So it's got the same amount of internal storage. They're both 256, but this has 12 gigabytes of RAM, which is a huge amount of RAM. And I've had zero lag, zero slowdown. The only area that I've been able to find that this has a glitch on is the camera. And actually it did it faster this time. When you double click the power button, it is a quick access to the camera, and it normally is very fast. On this device, it's super fast. usually does it within 1.5, 2 seconds maximum. This one, I've had issues with it going to camera with the double click. There we go, it's working much better now. So I don't know if that was just a glitch there, but it was taking a really long time, up to 5 seconds, black screen before it was then activating the camera. But as you can see, that's now gone. I actually find that the face unlock as well, which it has on this device, is actually better than it is on this device as well. It seems to pick up my face better, but it's still not great. Both of these devices are not as good as some of the newer ones, but that's to be expected. However, I find the under-screen fingerprint readers are very good. So I have no problem. Again, not the fastest, but super reliable. So they work just fine for me. I can wait 1 second for it to unlock while it's reading my fingerprint. So it's really not a big deal. But in terms of the panels, the screens, the software, Samsung software for me is still some of the best software available on Android, and I absolutely love it. So these devices really are, in 2022 going into 23, they're still competitive. And here's the best part. You can get hold of this. You can get hold of this device for 350 euros. And that is a steal, an absolute steal, because of course you are getting, of course, the S Pen, and it has all the S Pen functionality, air gestures, writing on the screen, etc. It is absolutely brilliant and still functions. You can use it as a remote for the camera, etc. So the quality of this device and the style of this device, even in white or getting the Aurora colored on this one, this is deep blue, I love this one, is absolutely brilliant. As always, I always recommend second-hand or refurbished devices. I'll put the links below to where you can find those. Some of them are not affiliate links, some of them are, but you are not going to regret spending that amount of money on this type of device. Now, I've bought devices for around 450, etc., which are tiered as mid-range devices, and they still don't come close to this. They might have 120 hertz refresh rate. They might have software that's supposed to, or CPUs that are supposed to be faster than the Snapdragon 855 or the Exynos engine, but they just don't compete. Along with the flexibility of the Samsung software, such as with Good Lock, and if you don't know what that is, put a comment below and I'll do a video on it. If you've got this type of equipment for that amount of money, you won't regret it. The video quality is still excellent. It records in 4K, and you've got just a great amount of basic storage, which is 256. Of course, it can go all the way up to 1 terabyte. This has dual SIM and it has SD card as well. So I can expand that if I want to, and obviously increase that, which doesn't even exist on other Samsung devices. So for me, for your best bang for buck value in terms of a flagship device that's still valid and still reliable and still fully functioning without any slowdown, it's got to be the Samsung Note 10 or the 10 Plus, which is the one that I've got here. Obviously, the only major difference is you get a slightly better camera setup on the Plus, and I've got the Snapdragon 855 on here. Otherwise, I've had zero problems with the Exynos. I do love the form factor of this size. I've got big hands, so using a bigger phone is not a problem, but I do find this one is just slightly less obtrusive. But the screen on this is just a pleasure for YouTube, gaming, and so on. I'm going to put some clips up about gaming. This device does get pretty hot when gaming. Heat cooling was a problem for both of these devices. I played PUBG on here, I've played Genshin, I've played Apex Legends as well. I'm not a huge gamer, but my son is, so we play together sometimes, and I test these devices out. It will heat up, definitely, after about 20 minutes of gameplay. I could start to feel it getting hot. Not so hot like the Google 7 Pro. That got really hot, particularly during rendering videos, but not so hot you can't handle it, but because of the metal chassis, it definitely conducts the heat, and you can obviously feel it as well. So I could not recommend these devices enough. If you are looking to buy as a gift, or looking to upgrade a fairly basic phone, or looking to switch from an older iPhone perhaps, you would never be disappointed with a Samsung Note 10, either the Plus or the original version as well, because I love these devices. I think they are absolutely brilliant. So if you've got any questions, if you've got one of these devices, put a comment below. I did a video about my Note 10, and that was my most successful video with loads of love, loads of comments. So I had to try the Plus version to see if there was a huge difference or whether the experience just gets better, which it does. So I'm pleased to report, if you are thinking about getting a very quality phone but don't want to spend close to 500 euros or even 400, you can get hold of both of these devices for 400 euros or less, particularly on refurbed websites. Okay, hope you found that useful. I hope you love these phones as much as I do. If you're watching on one, put a comment below. If you've got any questions about it, put a question in the comments and I will get back to you. I respond to all of the comments, all right? But until then, you'll see me in the next video. If I don't see you, have a very Merry Christmas, and I look forward to seeing you in 2023. Peace out.